Hello everybody, Bros Stack here with another video. As you can tell, this one's an oddball. This is the new Coke theory. Now, this is based off of a school project that I did for my English class, and we had to do a media portion. And so I chose video because I'm comfortable with that. And so that's what I made. And I was like, December views, I want to get a video out today. And so I was like, alright, I'll make a video. So this one is not the one that I sent to my teacher, but it is like a modified one. Honestly, it's probably a bit better in terms of audio quality because I had my mic a little bit too close in the first one. But it's too late for me to go and change that now. My mistake. But yeah. So this is recorded in like a radio format style as if I was broadcasting on a radio. So don't mind that. But anyways, without further ado, hope you enjoy. 87.9 FM, the Just Chatting Station. Hello everyone, welcome back, and I hope you're having a great day. Today, I will be discussing the most infamous mistake the Coca-Cola company has ever made. I'm talking about New Coke. Now, Coke is my favorite go-to soda drink. I mean, it's been around for over 100 years. Coke tried to change its original flavor back in 1985. So, they tried to change this thing, and yet I'm still drinking the classic flavor, right? So, New Coke is just gone. It's not on the shelves. It's not at all produced in any way, shape, or form. It's gone. You can't get this thing anymore unless you find someone who bought it way back on eBay. Or I think at one point there was a promotional program in 2019, last year. But, I mean, they're rare. They're pretty darn rare. So I can't actually try this thing myself because I just don't have one. And if you wanted to try one, it would take a lot of effort too. But New Coke was originally intended on replacing the classic flavor of Coke. I mean, it's just so strange to me. I mean, Coke's just been around for so long and they actually tried getting rid of it. Like, they stopped production of Coke, the original Coca-Cola flavor. That just blows my mind. So, at the time, in 1985, Pepsi was overtaking Coke in sales. And Coca-Cola was trying to come up with something to help get sales from Pepsi so that they'd be up ahead again. And so that's when they decided, hey, let's change the formula. And that's what they did. They were at least tried to. So they developed the new flavor, and then they released it, and the public hated it. Like, they absolutely hated it. It was the most backlash a company has ever received. It's a soda company, and yet this company has received the most backlash out of any company in history. That's just crazy. So many people were willing to complain and just make their voices heard over soda. That's insane. Now, a lot of people couldn't accept that Coke made a mistake, and so this is where the conspiracy theory comes in. The theory is that New Coke was a throwaway flavor. They just made it. They didn't care if it was good or not. They just created it just so that they could boost sales for the classic product and have an excuse to take it off the shelves, the classic product off of the shelves, so that people would panic buy it. And then they would re-release it so that people would then buy it again. And that would boost sales twice. The whole thing a marketing tactic. This theory, just out the gate, does not make any sense. Coca-Cola is an ordinary company. It's not this omniscient being that knows what's going to happen. There's no way you could predict a huge outrage would happen unlike any other before against a company, and it would boost sales. This theory relies on that the company was willing to make themselves infamous to boost sales. No. A board of directors has to approve this, and no one in their right mind would want to be infamous when they're trying to sell a product. I'm not going to buy a product from someone if I know that they are trying to cheap me out. Like if they are trying to mischievously take more of my money. Now, obviously, there's marketing tactics, but mischievous marketing tactics, like, come on. You can't just take something off the shelf just so that I would buy more of it. No. But obviously, what happened was Coke was genuinely trying to change the flavor, and they messed up. Coca-Cola did not know this was going to happen. It was a mistake. Whether people want to accept that or not, that is what happened. Because it's not like they released this thing without test. Tests were done. They held random test groups in various sites around the country, and majority preferred New Coke over both Coke and Pepsi, their rival. Supposedly, the flavor is a sweeter flavor than Coke and Pepsi. Like, just knowing what the flavor is tells you that Coca-Cola is trying to make a flavor that will take away sales from Pepsi and give them to Coke. Like, there it is. That it just says it right there once you read what the flavor was created to be. And people, according to the test groups, preferred it. But here's the kicker. The people that preferred classic Coke were the loudest ones in the room. They were the most enthusiastic about classic Coke. And it was as if it hurt their pride when they heard the Coke was trying to introduce a new flavor and get rid of the old one. And there are several cases, or not cases, but records showing that these people would peer pressure the others in the experiment to siding with them, thus creating less of a voice for New Coke. Then you look at the outrage that happens when New Coke goes public. Classic Coke is taken off the shelves, off of the manufacturer lines. People like this flavor, but they weren't speaking up because they were bullied by those who were die-hard classic Coke fans. Now, there were a few arguments made that perhaps Coke should sell the classic flavor to another company so that way people could still get that flavor, could still somehow obtain it. I assume that's about half and half of the people who prefer classic Coke, because some people felt that the flavor going away hurt their pride. Like, it was a representation of what the country was, the United States, of course, because it had been around for so long. Like, they were desecrating something sacred. That's where the outrage comes in. Coca-Cola takes phone calls, typically customer service, that sort of deal. They went from 4,000 typical a day to 8 to 15,000, which that's insane. 8 to 15,000 of people calling in, day out, just as recorded, personally holding the employees as responsible for taking away classic Coke. These people were angry and over soda pop. Like, these people are angry about it and are like trying to get their flavor back. I mean, to me it's just soda. I mean, I haven't had New Coke, so I don't have a bias, but to me that seems outrageous. Over a drink, just a mere drink. There's this outrage. So, how long did New Coke last as the new flavor? About 3 months. New Coke lasted 3 months. And then they brought back the classic flavor. Coca-Cola acknowledged that they made a mistake, and they brought back the new flavor. Some people couldn't accept that this legendary company made such a mistake that costed them 2 different instances of boost in sales. They're like, this is just a marketing stunt. There's no way Coca-Cola didn't know what they were doing. the fact is, and I took this from the Coca-Cola site themselves because they also cover the story. They their point of view, they say that this was a mistake to take away classic Coke and introduce new Coke. It says so right there. Coke made a mistake. But there's still these conspiracy theories. This conspiracy theory is delegitimate. It's not true. Coca-Cola made a mistake. That boosted their sales a ton. And that's that. Now, New Coke lasted about a total of 17 years. You could buy a New Coke from 1985 to 2002. But in 1992, they rebranded New Coke to Coke 2. I assume this is to distance themselves from the New Coke instant or launch in 1985 because there's a large amount of hate. So I assume that's where this change comes in. Obviously, it wasn't enough because just 10 years later, the flavor's completely gone. You can't get it nowhere. Now, New Coke did perform pretty well in places like Europe and anywhere but the United States. But I guess it wasn't enough, and so now you can't get a New Coke anymore. Well, you can, but you gotta search for it. They're not making it anymore. 87.9 FM, the Just Chatting Station. See you later.